So I've currently been designing and prototyping my own robotic lawnmower to share with you on this channel. In the meantime, Segway have offered to send me their latest and greatest Navimow i220 LiDAR to show me what a commercial one is capable of. Now, they say this one has no need for perimeter ground wires, something mine's going to be relying on. And this also means no R2K GPS base stations, which some others depend on. Along with some app-based controls, automatic height adjustment, and some other features, this seems more than capable. So I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to set up tests for as many of their claims as possible, and we'll see how well it fares. And obviously, I'm not adverse to any reverse engineering or design inspiration, we'll call it. So we'll see what we can learn from this that we might be able to incorporate in the DIY one that I'm currently working on. Let's see how it does. Everything is well packed during transit, and the top cover sheets direct you to online instructions and their social channels. The packaging itself is easy to remove in the suggested number order. The accessories are in their own box and consist of power cable pegs, ground anchors for the base station, IP rated power leads, instructions, and some spare cutting blades. The mower itself is next, followed by its base station. We'll get on and install the charging base station first. Now, as the i220 LiDAR does not depend on a perimeter wire, we don't actually need to spend hours and hours carefully installing any wires around the garden's edges. And there is also no need to find an open area with clear view of the sky to install an unsightly RTK station like other mowers may require. Setting up the base station is literally screwing it to the ground with the pegs and connecting the power. So the lawnmower itself is a fairly decent size, and it has a fair bit of weight to it as well. So you're not going to lose it on a windy day for sure. If we have a look on the underside, you'll find it uses, as a tilt alarm, you'll find it uses an array of almost like razor blades on a spinning disc to cut your grass. Now this means it just takes the top layer off regularly and often and allows it to mulch back down into your lawn. Now, grass cuttings are high in nitrogen, and nitrogen is also a element or nutrient that lawns really like. It's beneficial, and you'll find over time your lawn will become thicker and greener because of this nitrogen that's going back into the ground. The mower's body is made from a very sturdy plastic. We have two large drive wheels here at the back with excellent traction on grassy slopes and the gravel and concrete paths between my two lawns. The front wheels are almost like casters and allow the mower to turn on the spot for ultimate maneuverability. At the front, you'll find an array of technology. Here we have a headlight, great if you set the mower to go at night to help its own vision system and for you to see what it's up to. Then in the middle here, we have the AI-powered vision-based system. This uses a traditional camera. This is also how it generates its real scene maps, which you can see in the app here. Pretty cool, huh? And then finally, we've got the solid-state LiDAR system. Solid state, meaning there are no spinning components to emit the LiDAR beams, which is one less mechanical thing to go wrong. And on top of the lawnmower, you'll find a bright digital display and buttons for controlling the lawnmower without your phone, as well as a GPS antenna for tracking and basic location services, and a 4G antenna, which is used when the lawnmower does not have a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connection. This also helps to drive its anti-theft features. This includes a mower lifted alarm, which will make a loud noise if someone tries to remove the lawnmower. You can set up a geofence, so if it's taken physically away from your property, it will make a loud noise and alert you using its 4G connection. You can use that same GPS connection to see where it is on a map, and if that isn't enough, this even has Apple Find My built in. So here our assault course has been laid out, a list of common things that you might just found left on a lawn. First up, the lawnmower has found the hose pipe. What's it gonna do? Oh, it's backing up and navigating itself all the way around the hose pipe. That's 1-0 to the lawnmower. Second obstacle's coming up. Oh, the lawnmower has decided it's not wide enough. I think it could have gotten through there, but it has successfully navigated around Adam Savage's book without any problems. Next up's my iPhone, and okay, that has gone straight over the top of it. To be fair to it though, the phone is sat so low down in the grass, the blades didn't come anywhere near it. It has successfully avoided the tennis ball. It's going back to fill in its pattern. Now we have the glass of lemon squash, which it has definitely seen, and I think it's reversing in to cut the bit it missed between the book and the glass, which is pretty clever. So I think the vision system and LiDAR system works well. The phone did get run over, but it is untouched by the blades. So there are two main ways to map your lawn for the first time. The first is to use the auto mapping feature, where the lawnmower uses its vision and LiDAR to create its own map of the environment using AI. The second option is where you get to drive it around like a remote control car around the perimeters of your lawns, so it learns where the boundaries are. Now, of course, I want to drive it around like a remote control car, so I'll guide you through how I mapped it the manual way next. You start the process off with a very clear introduction on what you'll be doing when manually creating the garden map. This includes some good advice and an explanation of terminology. You're then given the opportunity to practice driving the lawnmower before the actual mapping begins. Your left thumb controls the speed, both forward and backwards, whilst your right one controls the direction. Once you're happy, you can drive it over to the edge of your lawn and start the recording. You then simply drive it around the outside of the area that you would like to map. My rear lawn has gravel edging, so I can slightly straddle it to get a cut right up to the lawn's edge. Once you finish this, you can then start your first automatic mowing session. The blade's height can be adjusted in the app, which also allows you to set different heights for different lawns or even areas of one lawn as well. For the first test, I decided to keep the blades up as high as they would go. I'm going to lower the blades down and then tell it to go cut the lawn again. And we'll see some before and after shots of the lawn. It's quite difficult to show on camera, but it's cut the lawn as well, if not better, than my old manual mower. I think it looks tidier, and this is probably because it's trimming the grass with razor sharp blades, as opposed to just hacking away at it like my old manual mower does. It's also surprisingly quiet. Now, Segway's Navimow is also very capable of navigating itself between more than one lawn space. To program this in, It's as simple as driving it using those remote controls again to your additional lawn space. And for me, that's going to be my front lawn. You then map this space just the same as your other first lawn. Once it's completed, you then choose the option to add what they call a channel in the map's settings, and then you drive your mower back to that first zone. Once you're there, the mower connects these two spaces and learns this route. So next time your mowing schedule asks for it to mow the second, third or more lawns if you have them, it uses the pathways to navigate between them all by itself. And of course, once it's done mowing, it will find its way back to the charger and plug itself in again.
Charging.
So, having spent some time with the Navimow i220, I've decided to see what I think I could incorporate into my DIY machine's version. It has LiDAR and vision navigation. Now, there are certainly some DIY projects that use things like this. It requires some very good programming skills and a lot of R&D. So my robot is most likely to work on a perimeter wire system with some simple sensors to help detect obstacles. Automatic mapping. That's a lot of software work, and mine probably won't have that. I will be leaning towards that manual boundary defined by the perimeter wire placed around the outside of your lawn. App control. Again, more software features, support for Android and iOS, and updates as phones and tablets get updated by the manufacturers is too much work for a project on my own. So mine will probably use an onboard Wi-Fi network with a website that you can connect to administer some simple controls, plus some buttons, physical ones, on the actual mower itself. Obstacle avoidance. So for the Navimow, that's leaning heavily on their LiDAR and vision navigation systems. Obviously, mine's not going to have that, so we're gonna lean on the old-fashioned bump sensor. This is literally just some physical bump sensors placed around the four sides of the lawnmower, requiring it to knock into something before it can detect it's there. Now, with any commercial product, you're also going to get some polished safety features and good high quality lab tested weatherproofing. DIY versions, well, it's as safe as we can make them, and weatherproofing for outdoor DIY is quite tricky, so it will be rudimentary, hopefully enough to stay outside in the rain, but it's not going to be lab tested. And safety wise, well, with any DIY project, it'll be done at your own risk. And then the very last is auto recharging. Now, theirs works flawlessly. You expect that of any robot lawnmower these days. However, for a DIY version, this actually can be quite a challenge. You need to find the base station, you need to line yourself up with it and dock successfully, which means making physical contact with those two charging pins. You also need to concern yourself with some sort of charging infrastructure to connect with the lithium battery in the lawnmower and to deal with voltages and all sorts of extra things. So for the DIY one, that's almost another separate project after the lawnmower itself has been built. So if you don't fancy all that DIY work and you want something you can literally pick up, drop and go, then Navimow. If you want to get your hands dirty, a DIY version is great fun to build, but you're just not going to get the same quality as you would from a commercial one, obviously. Now, there are other features as well, which I won't be contemplating as far as I'm aware. That would be the automatic up and down adjustment of the blades. I think that's a luxury. I was very surprised to find it in this, but I have found it useful. I keep the front lawn a lot higher, so it doesn't require watering in dry spells, and I can keep the small back lawn a little bit shorter because it's more shaded. Also, security features such as the Apple Find My. Now that's something I did not expect to find in it, and it's good to see because a lot of these devices require GPS, which then needs a 4G connection to alert you when it's been removed outside of your Wi-Fi network's range. There go, you need a 4G connection, which means somewhere down the line you end up paying a little bit of subscription to keep that connection going, or maybe the service stops. But with Apple Find My, you're not relying on that, you're just relying on the proximity of other Apple devices passing your mower if it's stolen. It's proven to be a good network. I myself have used it to recover some lost luggage. So yeah, it's really good. It's a selfless thing they've done, and it's a high quality way of finding it, I think. Now, you're probably wondering personally which one I'm going to use. The Navimow, it's so easy. I'm probably going to keep that mowing my back lawn. That's where I'm going to get most of the obstacles with left out items, washing lines, tables, chairs moving around. There will be people, so the safety features are appreciated. I will probably still build my DIY version, obviously. I want to share it on the channel with you, what I've been working on, but I might leave that one to doing the front lawn, where things are just a little bit more consistent with its design. And if anything goes wrong with my DIY one, I can always just send the Navimow over to the front lawn to pick up the slack. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it informative. Subscribe if you want to see the instructions on how to build a DIY version coming out later this year. Otherwise, until the next video, do some good and ciao for now.